What is up,
Boo.
y'all? That's right.
We're late for
Boo.
Halloween.
Spooky. However, we are sending treats out to all of you misfits anyway, as we have our Skeptic and Ranting Fatal Attraction.
A femme fatale?
Yes, exactly. More like a femboy femme fatale, but close enough. Anyway.
Is that where the bullets come out of the breasts, or do they come out of somewhere else?
Yes, I would say all to those, including the high heels.
Oh, okay. All right. Sounds good. You got a plan.
Where there's a will, there's a way, James. But we are watching a video from the channel Hagee Ministries.
Oh boy, have we covered this guy before? I don't think we've ever. Yeah, we've done him plenty of times before.
Called The Abundant Life of Narnia. I mean, The Abundant Life with Pastor John Hagee. Fatal Attraction.
Oh, is this like when Pat Robertson, God rest his soul, so sorry we lost him, but when he was talking with Kenneth Hagin, they were bragging about how much money they have. Kenneth Copeland, he's like, oh wow, that's a really big check there. I'm struck by that number, Pat. He's like, I wish it were more, friend. I wish it were more. It should be a lot more.
Yes, once again, what you need is more checks from the poor. The more that you get, the greater that God likes you. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. That's how it pays for that jet. Anyway, this guy gives such Cat Hoven energy. We'll talk about that in a second anyway.
Yeah,
but won't you join James W. and myself, Amy Newman, for a fatally good time? Oh my.
Dr. Ken Hoven.
Dr. Ken Hoven, DVD number 5. I do want to thank you all for joining us out there on the inner tubes. Please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. I said it, YouTube. I said it. Because then you gain access to that bell icon that, when set to all, will allow us to see our premieres or join our live streams.
It'll also give us access to your bank account, too, won't it?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
On YouTube Premium or Red.
You hit subscribe, and then boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And how it really works is that the CIA already has your information, and they are secretly watching while you surf Pornhub.
The CIA, they, you know that stick on the heel they give you when you're a newborn. It's not to test your genetics. It's so the CIA can copyright your DNA, and then when you need new liver, they can regrow it and sell you your own liver. Oh.
But James, there's also been like a scam out there where it's like you put a quarter in and then you get a cart. How am I ever going to get that quarter back? The world may never know, James.
If you've only got a 3-inch penis, they can grow you a longer one of your own. It'll be just like yours, but longer, from the CIA. Not that I know about that.
But also,
they're turning Amy Newman straight.
What I love about the people who sell those, about halfway through, is the infomercials for testosterone-based free radicals. Listen, man, have you been losing your edge? Time to make your lady happy too with this testosterone-based free radical product. Not like those radical liberals. Anyway, please don't forget to not only join our live streams, I will be uploading more of the premieres. I've been struggling and fighting to get some of the titles to change. I wanted a desert title for the other one. It just has my face. And so I have to decide if I just want a bunch of my face videos or if I am going to edit them and add that in. But there's going to be more premieres coming soon. And I will also
your face, normally you have to direct people up to look at your face. Like I'm up here.
Excuse me. The eyes
I'm up
are
here.
right down here,
Right.
as opposed to the two things you could be looking down here, or you could be looking down at my wonderful smile up here. Anyway, what were we talking about?
You always have
new shoes.
accessorized shoes. Yeah, exactly.
Once again, those are where the bullets come from. We were just talking about, I think.
Oh boy, yeah.
Right? Yes. I'm trying to remember, because now the only thing on my mind is Alex Jones looking at T-girls, but that has nothing to do with anything.
Somewhere in a bunker, eating ready-to-eat meals, survival meals, Alex Jones is snuggled up, watching T-girl porn.
And I've seen him with now a picture with what is that? There's a right-wing YouTuber that is a trans girl. And I'm trying Blair White, I think. And now there's
Steven Crowder.
It is. I've seen him he trolled the libs and he cross-dressed once time.
Oh, I remember that too. He went to the women's march. Remember that?
But it makes you just think,
a tranny. Yeah.
Like as he's getting ready and as he's getting girls' clothes, he's like, "This is owning the libs. I'm putting the dress on to own the libs, and I'm putting a wig on to own the." Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, less about what he tells his
divorce
therapist.
audio got released. Ugh.
Well, all of them, like a lot of them are very. I don't mean to talk about being creepy, but both recently Tucker Carlson and just his comments was spank it.
Well, for a man like Steven Crowder, who's pro-life, telling his 9-month pregnant wife he's going to fuck her up, because she wouldn't walk the dogs for him.
What's with them and dogs?
He was busy. He was busy on his phone, and she's got to go to the store, and she wants to take the car, but no, she shouldn't take the car because he needs the car, and she should stop everything and walk his dogs, do wifey things. You're 8.5, 9 months pregnant. Come on, get your ass out there, do something.
Listen, just because you're 8, 9 months pregnant doesn't mean you're in labor, James. So think about someone other than yourself.
Suck it up.
I just don't know what's with them and with dogs and with women is thousands of years old thing. Them just being horrible human beings to women, that's almost a tradition. Oh my goodness.
That's not a slump. That's a tradition.
Well, I would try to say that's not a bug, but that's like their feature is they're like, no, we're trying to make it in the times where were the good times? Okay. I could go on and rant. I am going to become, my hair is going to become bluer and bluer the longer that I talk.
Steven Anderson, Kenobi's friend. His daughter.
Also,
his daughter came out about the abuse that they suffered during the years growing up with that. A very, 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 very conservative right-wing pastor, Steven Anderson, about throwing furniture across the house and, of course, severe beatings and, her being told to take the younger siblings out while there's domestic violence going on because maybe they shouldn't see him beating the mother, hitting the mother for her transgressions against God or the marriage or whatever. Yeah,
that's some like real life Jerry Springer shit.
Yeah. Conservative Christian family household there. A very conservative, though. Uber conservative. Yeah.
So I can't compare, but I just have one more creepy thing, and then we'll move on and we'll do we'll jump as fast as we can into our video.
Oh boy.
But Jesse Waters, the guy from Fox, recalled a story where he saw this attractive lady and he wanted to, date her. And so what he did, as any regular guy would do, James, he let the air out of her tires. And I'm trying to remember whether she had a husband or he had a wife, but in some way or another, he was like, cheating's not that big a deal, and I'm going to let the air out of her tires. And he's, says he went up to her and said, "Do you need a lift?" And she went, "Oh yeah, I guess I do." And he said, "Oh, look at that."
Hey,
And
what
he
luck?
got it. What luck?
Hey.
But isn't that psychopathic?
That's a borderline. That's pretty creepy. Yeah, not borderline. That's pretty out there. Yeah, that's out there. It's pretty desperation level tactics. Yeah.
Okie dokie. But yes, I don't know what it's with these right-wing religious often fundies.
Who's
Our
that?
true producer.
Oh, who's this? Oh,
What's up, Gizmo?
chiming in Gizmo here. Say hi, everybody.
The real person running the show.
Oh yeah,
I see that.
The one stirring the pot.
Rudy was playing dress up in a wig as a fan favorite. Yes. Spraying him.
Rudy Giuliani?
Yes, Rudy cross-dressed, and I'm pretty sure it was like a parody video with Trump hitting on them. But it was Rudy cross-dressing and spraying themselves with like fake perfume. And I wouldn't understand it if I tried.
Out of them all, I do have to say, I think Rudy would probably like channel the most feminine energy. I think they picked the right one. Like if they did a testosterone count of them all, he'd probably be on the low end. But
that would probably not surprise me.
No.
Low
T. He's over 70. It is what it is.
Do you know what he's missing? It's all those free radicals. I don't know what those free radicals are doing, but he needs testosterone or whatever they're selling at 3 a.m. in the morning. Exactly. All right, but we are talking Skeptic and Ranting, Fatal Attraction. No, it's not what you're thinking in that it's not like the gays. This time we have off. Woo! It's just, and James, I've gone over this from looking at it a few times now. The main thing that he is babbling about, and really he goes all over the place, but it's having idols, and that is
worship
what the
of
fatal
other gods.
attraction.
Yes, worship of other gods. Because their God is just so great, and for whatever reason they keep going and trying to worship other gods, and he doesn't understand it. He doesn't know why. Why would they want to worship other gods, Amy? Am I not all the God that they need? Am I not the best God ever? Am I not a great God? I don't get it. Why are they going and worshiping other gods? Why are they making idols? Even though I, told them to take the gold to make an idol, but I mean, why are they doing that with the gold?
And once again, I am creator of the universe. However, it's just kind of my thing to have myself made out of gold. And so it just pisses me off that they're doing it with other gods.
Leave Yahweh alone. Leave Yahweh alone.
Leave Yahweh alone.
Oh.
God damn. It's just odd because it seems like, I know Gizmo, it seems like something that a creator of the universe could get over. But every time I push this up against, an apologist, they're always like, but isn't he due his glory? I don't know. Does he have enough, points saved up? You tell me.
His Hilton honors points are
exactly
they're not not where they need to be.
Unfortunately.
He needs
Do
to
you have
do
any
at least
frequent
like
flyer
a few,
miles?
a few more eternities staying, and then he'll have enough points. But you're not there yet.
And not to get, once again, once we get me talking about consciousness, but I
Oh
still
boy,
try to wrap my head around a consciousness that is just experiencing everything all at once. Because what does that
right?
even mean? Because
Doesn't mean anything.
it doesn't, because consciousness really is a linear experience. It really is us moving forward through time and us
He just
reacting.
is.
And
He just is.
I know, and that sometimes I swear they try and make it as vague as possible, like I am. And I got into an argument with a theist that was trying to, because this is my big shtick, because of John being such a different gospel than the other three,
Oh,
and because that is what seems to be where Jesus became God. He's the first one. And someone was trying to say, well, in the Old Testament, he says, I am. And then the New Testament, he says, I am. And then you look at the apologetic and like the actual passage, and it's like someone asking, are you here? Are you supposed to be here?
I
And
am.
it's like, I am. It's like he's not being like, I am. He's being
No.
like, yep, this is me. Chinese food is me. It's for
So,
it's for me.
so it's clear that the authors of the New Testament, they were very aware of the Old Testament, what it said,
Sure.
and so they were able to craft these narratives to include things that actually a couple of them are quite clever, like the way they tie things in. You have to give them credit for it, that they're interesting works of literature. They're not bad.
Well,
It's
as
just that
much
they're
as
not actually like true.
we call them goat herders and everything, generally speaking, the Torah, the New Testament, the Quran, these were written by scribes and people of the day that actually had access to knowledge. Even though a lot
They
of
were
it was
literate.
wrong,
Yeah.
they were literate. They were the ones who can read and write. And we're never attacking them. It's generally just the people that after 1,000 years are still like, oh no, this is right. You know why it's right, James? Because it doesn't change. When we accept it now and forever, that's what makes it amazing.
Well, Amy, that's part of the fear of God, right? Like, because you have fear of God. I mean, you have fear of God because if you do, then are you just going to change what He said? You don't have the fear of God in you. You need to have the fear of God in you. Otherwise, you know, that's why you go doing these things. Dressing like a woman because you don't have the fear of God in you. You need the fear of God in you. You'll start living right.
Is. Once I start fearing God, then I'll be like, I'm going to the opposite side of Macy's. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. God, just imagine God there. He's this big guy. He's got a club and he's ready to beat the shit out of you. You got to be pretty afraid, right? He loves you, but he's going to beat the shit out of you. He's going to beat the shit out of you because he loves you.
It is. It's that George Carlin bit, which is he has this place, if you don't believe in him, where he's going to burn you and mutilate you and scar you and torture you, and it will be endless hellfire and brimstone. But he loves you.
In fact, his love is perfect. It is so far beyond any concept of love that you have, and you can't even comprehend the kind of love that he feels for you right now. He feels that, but you can't even comprehend it, right? You don't even know. You're not even in the same league of his in terms of love.
No. And you know what type of loving God would exist? One that would drown babies.
Of course.
You know,
Naturally.
I'm pretty sure that's an objectively moral God.
Well,
What
it's gotta
is
be
up,
right.
Ian Davenport? Doom, 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 doom.
He wrote the rule book, right?
Yes, and that's another thing that we'll be going over, the Ten Commandments.
Oh, yes. The wonderful 10 Commandments. How amazing they are.
Well, it's just amazing that they want to use the Old Testament when it's convenient to them
Oh,
and
sure,
then
of course.
shrug it off, when it's not. What's up, Dave Rogers? What's up, God equals the square root of -1. Grumpy old Gus. Grumpy old Cuss. Grumpy, sending love. Sending love to everyone. Gizmo sending love to everyone. And
He sure is. Hey, Dave.
I think in a moment we'll just do our quick shout outs and
Yeah,
then
and we'll get right into
we'll
this.
get
this
right into the
this
video.
guy.
And a dum dum. But yes, we're sending love out there. There are many ways to support the show. You can send in super chats and we'll dance around and interact with them. You can send in super thanks after the show's uploaded. You can become a channel membership, sending so much love to the wonderful Ian Davenport. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. With our evolving badge system, which triggers evolutionists.
Oh,
I've been
triggers
learning so much.
Anti-evolutionists.
Anti-evolutionists, or as we call them, conspiracy theories. I've been learning so much about biology. I'm almost at the end of Bio 102. And at the end, it's all about ecology. I'm very fascinated in this, which is basically the rules and systems that get set up between biological organisms and the factors, living and non-living, that go into setting them up. And because most of biology deals with inside of the organism, and ecology is one of the few subfields where it's really about the interacting systems and the I can't help it. The living versions of ecology are, of course, algae are creating food for other organisms and stuff, but the non-living things are light and water. Access to these are how you create biomes. So how you create deserts and tundra and rainforest and different type of forests in between.
Everglades, like we have down here in Florida.
Yes,
the Everglades.
I've learned there's two different types of. So there's rainforests and tropical forests and all that. But then in the United States, there's two different types of forests. There's the forest with that are basically greenish or whatever. They look the same. Or... Not carnivorous, though. That'd be extremely cool. They're just
carnivorous.
Oh, carnivorous. Yes, exactly. Ones that are basically green, pine cone, whatever, throughout the whole year, and then the ones that are seasonal and change their leaves. And biomes are like multiple states wide, and then they shrink down into ecosystems, and then communities, and then populations, and then individuals. And this is ecology, and it is a great way to end Bio 102. I understand why that's the end of it. But it's just fantastic because I'm taking it for nerdy, like, consciousness reasons. I feel like I should take this instead of just randomly making it up, and as I think creationists do and some woo-woo people do. And then it's great anti-creationist training.
But I have to ask. I just have to ask. So, have you in this biology thing? Have you gotten into to learn about different genders and how that evolved?
Yes, we do know how different. We know how different both genders
God made them,
and sexes. Well, just gender
same
is really
thing.
just a son to.
They mean the exact same thing.
But it's interesting
Really
because fungi and bacteria have mating types, and mating types actually don't have two sexes. They have sometimes a dozen or 1,000 of different type of mating types. It is the precursor to sexes. Though it's okay that there are generally two sexes along with intersex, along with in both humans and plants and all sorts of things.
Mating types. So let me ask you. So if a heterosexual male human were to have sex with a male whale, would that be a mating type? Would that be?
Yes.
But the person,
what would happen?
A straight heterosexual male, right?
Yes, exactly. But what would happen is you may give birth to a hume whale. A hume whale is a half human, half whale. I don't know if it's the top or the bottom half. We'll figure that out later.
I could abort that.
And they're also okay with abortion if it's theirs, but anyone else's, that's a whole nother story. James, I try and keep on not being political, and yet my brain tries to keep on throwing me back into.
I'm fighting it.
What's up, Dave Rogers? What's up, Captain Butt? What's up, everybody? We're having fun. Oh my goodness. Sending so much love to Ian Davenport for giving us a $20 super sticker. Hey, thanks for being you. I want to down. One, two. Yes. Thank you so much, Ian.
Thanks, Ian.
It does help keep the lights on, and isn't an interesting dichotomy because we love all of the support, and this guy very much does talk about idols and money and all this. I just also think that it's funny, and it's my favorite thing about this guy is that he does it twice, and it's almost he can't see the irony. Is he's like, and we should not think about money. Buy my book, and it just James. He doesn't he give you Ken Hovind vibes?
He's not in it for the money. He's selling the stuff at cost.
No.
At cost.
Well, exactly.
At cost.
Yeah, I'm sure. And he has it like front and center, as we're about to see.
I'm actually taking a loss on this stuff. I'm selling to you so
I'm
cheap.
Sure.
I'm taking a loss.
You make money the more that you buy.
I just want to get the word out. I'm not trying to build the kingdom down here. I'm saving up for heaven. For heaven.
That's right. It's for the man up there. That's who we're really working for. Oh my goodness.
Elon
but
Musk?
Thank you.
No.
That's right. I really can I tell you, James, and this is not politics.
You
all
can
right?
No.
Because I think the Teslas are very sleek. All right. I think they're a good car. Rachel and I have talked how we would get one. That truck has got to get a rewrite on aesthetics. All right. Like, I get what he was trying to go for, but that's got to be attempt one. All right. Like, you could keep that basic thing, but you got to work on it because
it's definitely iconic. You know, you can't mistake it for anything else.
It looks like it was crafted on Mars to work on Mars, but it's not what you like.
Yeah.
Once again, I hope I'm gonna, if we can afford it one day, I'm going to get a Tesla.
Yeah.
Even though I disagree
still
with
in business.
everything that he's doing right now, because even I don't think that he supports the guy that, and I'm not going to say which guy, who I don't want to get, just let the cat out of the bag, but even, I mean, people tell you what they really think, just like Vance called him Mustache Man. Nonetheless, politics, shut up, politics. We just have a few more days, and then maybe there'll be peace in the Middle East. Anyway, what's up, davegar? Sending so much love.
Hey, davegar. Oh, davegar's out there.
James, I have a solution. What if,
Oh boy,
for each conflict, we just dropped PS5s all over it? Just wherever there was a crisis going on, we just overwhelmed them with so many PlayStations.
well,
We could supply battery packs to,
It's like the Islamic guy with Matt Dillahunty. Remember, the atheists, they're going to have us all living in pods, and
I love that.
with our PlayStations, our drugs, and our porn, and you'll never need to leave your pod. You'll have all the drugs, porn, and PlayStation you need. And Matt Dillahunty's like, where do I get this? That sounds amazing.
I know.
Porn,
my only
PlayStation,
response to that would be like, does it come in pink? But
I'll fight to get me out of that thing.
I know.
Video games, really? Including
You're telling me that it's a food, masturbation, and video games chamber? Well, I feel like this would never sell. Also, those are called computers.
Hey,
anyway,
Baton. Remember that where that's from? You should
sorry,
know.
Mike.
Hey, Baton. When someone knocks on the door, that's from Idiocracy.
Good movie. Good documentary. All right, let's get to it. We are talking about, we are in fact Skeptic and Ranting.
Somebody did a clip of that. You'll appreciate this, of Idiocracy, comparing President Camacho walking in to do the State of the Union with Hulk Hogan coming out to do his speech at the convention. It was pretty good.
How, and once again, I don't mean to get political, but since we're going there, it is weird. Like, we live in a universe, I never really put serious thought, but where if it was that one guy versus Camacho, you do know who I would legitimately and have no second thoughts vote for, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Do you understand how weird of a universe? I'm convinced this isn't the main timeline now, James. We're just some other timeline.
Mountain Dew Camacho.
I would take it. Take the AK-47 while he's giving a speech. I would take that over eating dogs.
Orange Man back.
I'm just saying that it's a weird time for politics.
Yep. It is.
Anyway, we're talking Fatal Attraction or The Abundant Life. I love how this is just dawns on me. This mother is making a book called The Abundant Life about you just having too much shit. And you know where you can buy it, James?
Well, he's happy to sell it to you.
Oh, we're all the finest booksellers.
At below cost. It's below cost. It's below cost, I'm sure.
At low cost. Once again,
below cost.
Using money is the devil, and I accept Western Union and Visa and
crypto.
Discover.
We'll take crypto too.
Crypto.
Venmo.
Does your mama have
Zelle?
Does your grandma have butterscotch Trust me, we'll make something work.
Gold. You got gold. You watch the Newsmax. You bought your gold from Roslyn Capital. We'll take that too.
But no, a completely honest guy. So let's get to it.
Patreon. Just do the Patreons real quick.
Oh, right. And because
we love our Patreon.
Gizmo is our producer and he puts so much work and effort into it, please help us keep the lights on as well by going to patreon.com/Amy Newman. It helps us out, and sending all love to our Patreon supporters and our channel members. And all right. In fact, I'll also do this. Oh, yeah. James, I'm so excited to get to the thing because it's also, I'm interested how he weaves it together because it really doesn't make sense.
It doesn't have to make, it's religion, Amy. It doesn't have to make sense.
He goes from Moses to another guy getting stabbed, and then another guy gets okay. Anyway, sending so much love to our channel members and our supporters, including Azo. Woo, thank you. Woo-hoo. Sending love from the Skeptic and Ranting community. All misfits, come as you are, as well as Chris Disciple reminding us we do have Theus members at the Skeptic and Ranting community. Thank you so much for all the love. Thanks, Dale Pastel reminding us that we are looking for evidence. It's really just a little bit of evidence. As well as davegar. We never get empirical evidence. They always say, what do you want? We'll give you whatever we want. We say empirical, and then they say, they complain. Exactly.
The one thing you can't ask for.
Thank you so much, Dale. Thank you so much, davegar. Reminding us the Earth is round and relatively old compared to us, anyway. 4.5 billion. Ooh, excuse me. Sending love to Rachel Holen, reminding us that you shouldn't take slaves. If you want to go to a BDSM club and they consent, then you can. But you shouldn't go to the nations around you, slaughter all the men, and take the women and children. That's not really... And James, they call that objectively moral.
Well, what if you take the men as slaves? I'm sure Rachel would be fine with enslaving
then it becomes objectively moral.
Rachel would enslave men, right? She's not sexist. She'll enslave men too.
Exactly.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. And then sending love to Ian Davenport. So we saw him sending love. Ian,
thank you so much.
Reminding us that all of the apologetic arguments kind of suck. Doesn't matter if it's Kalam, contingency, watchmaker, make me an argument. As well as Rejos. Sending love, Rejos, reminding us that a book did say a thing. We have a Bible study on here. We need to do more Bible studies. Even though, God seems to be a major dick. But...
Well, I mean, God will be coming back anytime soon, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's true. The end of the world. We also had an episode, James, that, this year, the apocalypse needs to happen.
It's November, so less than 2 months to go.
Yep. I mean, better happen. But all right. With that, Actually, you know what, James? I keep on saying I am gonna give my beat. Sometimes I don't, but be right back, and then we will do it. I'm gonna hand it over to James, but we are Skeptic and Ranting on Fatal Attraction. What are your thoughts, James, on idol worship?
Idol worship, well, yeah. Idol worship, yeah. This is. I sent Amy a couple ones. I figured she would pick this one. It's probably honestly the best one that I sent her. It's yeah. You guys will see. I'm sure you guys will like it.
But as everyone else is doing, got a few days to the election, trying to maybe give people a brief distraction from that, from politics for the night. Plenty of that. But we hope everybody's doing good. What did happen? A YouTuber is a YouTuber that I, when I'm not doing religion and everything, I used to watch. A guy who was a reptile presenter, and I just found out a couple of days ago that he actually died. He was bitten by one of his snakes, and back at the end of September, and they just took him off life support down in South Africa within the past week. Dingo Dinkelman. A lot of people criticize him because he did lots of videos with venomous reptiles. He didn't push the envelope a lot, but he did a lot for conservation. He raised money for animal causes, and he did lots of educational stuff. And he had a family. He had a wife. He had 2 daughters and a son. He was 44 when he passed, same age as Steve Irwin. He had an allergy. He had an allergy to the venom, and he knew that. He knew that he had the anaphylaxis kit on site, but he knew that it might not even be enough, that he'd probably die if he got bitten. He got bitten, he died. But about him, one of the things that struck me about him, though, is even after he had this anaphylaxis and realized that, is he always would talk about his faith, and he was a man of he was a devout Christian, and I think that might have given him some unfortunate assurances about his work with these dangerous reptiles. And he was I think he was a good guy. It's sad to see him go, but he probably should have taken a step back. But a lot of people, unfortunately, they have this devout faith, and they just feel like even if they die and go to the other, it doesn't matter. They just go to the other side. Their family and friends will be there waiting for them when they get there. They'll get to see their grandparents and parents and all those people. And, you realize that this is probably all we get. We don't know that we're getting anything else. We don't know anything else that we're going to get. You've got kids, you've got a wife, you've got a family, and you have a passion. His passion was for the animals. I guess it's hard to ask somebody to take a step back from that, but I just look at the good things he did in life. He raised money for conservation causes, and he rescued lots of animals that were in need. But now he's gone. And anyway, that's kind of a sad anecdote. We lost a bunch of viewers. I'm sorry, guys, to depress everybody. It is what it is. Thought I should mention that because it's been weighing on me over the past few days. I guess it's not the channel for that, but whatever. It is what it is anyway. Got an election coming up in a few days. Trying to just take some brief time away from that and bash religion, because I believe all the candidates are religious, and that's silly. That's silly. So many things in our country would be easier. So many issues would be. We wouldn't have to slog out if we just get past religion, but we can't seem to do that. And it's not because the the people at the very top are so devout. A lot of it is that they're actually using people on both sides, but using people to uh, for their own purposes, using religion for their own purposes, and that's what it's done throughout human history. That's what it's doing now. It's a control mechanism. It's been quite effective over the years, and those people who use it aren't going to let it go anytime soon. Until we take it from them, we'll take it out of their hands. We won't quite go there, Dave Rogers, but I feel what you're saying. In other news, by the way, though, most of you guys probably don't know, probably not aware, but I'll let you know anyway. There's on the 13th, there's more UFO hearings coming to Congress, more whistleblowers, more UFO hearings. Hey, maybe something big will come out this time. That's what we're hearing. That's what it sounds like. But as always, we gotta wait and see. 13th, Congress. It's a lame duck Congress, so they can't have anybody using it against them in an election. Like, oh, this guy, he's doing a UFO hearing. Can't be using that against them. So they're waiting till after the election. They're playing it safe, but we'll see what's happening. There's funky stuff going on up in the skies, and Amy knows what it is.
So, James, I hate to cut you off, but Soros is saying we might be saying a little bit too much.
Oh, about the Immaculate Constellation program.
Yes, I'm just
By
saying.
the way, if you Googled that term like a month ago, you probably would have been tracked by the NSA.
Well, the problem is that you brought up redacted, and then because that you brought up redacted, we may actually have to redacted, and thus leaving us to the process of redacted. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll
be sucked into the ship that's under the Bermuda Triangle any day now, right?
Bermuda, Bahamas, alien Mustamas.
There you go.
I couldn't rhyme anything with that. I got close. Anyway, sending so much love. We are talking about Fatal Attraction. What's that?
I said, give her credit. Give her credit.
That's right. I rhyme.
Amy knows the meme I sent her, Dave Rogers. She's used to it. I've sent her a couple times by now.
Believe in 30% off at Kohl's. I think that's what you're trying
Kohl's
to get
Cash.
me.
You probably have a lot of Kohl's Cash, Amy.
Oh my god! I keep on hitting the microphone. I'm sorry.
You have probably an obscene amount of Kohl's Cash.
Listen, I don't because it expires. However, I used that Kohl's Cash like an economy baby. It is good. Listen, okay? I'm not going to bash Kohl's Cash. You know what I am going to bash? That gosh darn credit card, all right? Because that's where that 30% number is. Because, James, didn't you know that if you sign up for this credit card, the entire month, you will get 30% off everything you buy at this store. Now, what I am not going to tell you is that every month after that, do you know how much the APR is? I mean, just guess a random number.
The APR?
The APR, yes.
Yeah.
Just think any number.
69%, right?
69, 89.
Have to be 69%. Yeah.
30% APR. So enjoy that 30% off because you're going to be paying for it each and every month.
Oh, but at least his avatar is a clown. There you go. He's playing along. He's a good sport. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, first place. But yes, let's get into the abundant life with Pastor John Hagee in Fatal Attraction. Because again, you would not want to have an abundant life filled with adultery. Buy my book at Amazon. Do 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 do. And without further ado,
A guy
Fatal
who's
Attraction.
almost 6,000 years old.
about that.
He's only like
Kings and
84.
partners across America and around the world. Our topic is fatal attraction. It's taken
Oh, boy.
from the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verses 4 through
Is it this book? Oh wait, no.
6. Our topic for the next few weeks will be taken from my latest book, To Save America, the 10 Commandments.
Save America.
The book
There's
is
his
available
book.
in Amazon or jhm.org. Exodus 20, verses
Which again is a bondage website.
4 through 6. The Bible says, "You shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor..."
So again, if you construct anything, if you're a painter or some sort of artist, probably going to hell. Just putting
That's
it out
a
there.
picture of literally anything. Anything in the water, anything in the land, anything anywhere. Yeah, no good.
God's a little picky.
serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations.
Once again, there you go. Yeah.
Like
Punishing the great-grandparents of for great-grandchildren for things their great-grandparents did. Nice. Classy.
Yeah. I was gonna say kind of a petty bitch, but like that doesn't even begin to encapsulate it because you are torturing generations afterwards. You're being a petty bitch and malicious at the same time.
Oh yeah. You go ahead and take that candy bar from 7-Eleven. Your great-grandkids are gonna pay for it. Yeah, they're gonna be paying for it, bitch. Enjoy that Snickers bar. Fuck you.
Oh, speaking of Snickers bar, there was a video I was watching today of a bear that stole a Snickers bar, as well as Three Musketeers later on. He was sitting there, and you could just see him unwrapping the bar. He knew when to unwrap the bars. And sending love to Jen. What is up, Jen? And Wandering Traveler, and everybody. Sending
Jen?
so much.
Where's Jen? Church of Robot? Is that Jen?
Yes. And go check out her channel and her content because she's
Oh,
amazing.
it's Church of Entropy. Is that her?
Oh, is it? Oh, it is Church of Entropy. You're
Church of
right.
Entropy, yeah.
Church of Robot is someone completely.
That's the
James.
Red Hot Chili Peppers Go Robot.
You're right. Sending love to Church of Robot as well. I do like
Go
robots.
Robot.
I taught a course in robotics, at least for robotics for children, which was a fun course. They actually sell robotic Lego kits where you're able to code with graphical user interfaces and then make the robots do different
Sounds
things.
like witchcraft.
Ooh, basically. Anyway, all right. Fatal Attraction. Let's get back to not making money. Also buy his book.
Of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments.
Okay, he's a petty bitch.
I will live by the 10 Commandments every day.
Do
I
you?
will honor God and obey him. I will be in church or synagogue each week. I will respect spiritual authority of God's word. I will not murder, commit adultery, lies.
I mean,
How many lies has he told since this podcast started?
it's true.
Come on now.
But do you really need a book to say you shouldn't stab your neighbor? Like, they want the biggest golf clap ever. Like, all right, you're not stealing or murdering.
Listen, he tells his wife, like, listen, I'm not going to commit adultery. I'm not going to cheat on you. But if that wasn't in that book, I would love to be fucking the neighbor.
Totally
right
would.
now. I would be over there plowing that all day and night if it weren't for the 10 Commandments. It's
wasn't that book.
So
With
therefore,
that list.
yeah.
And I forget which comedian said it, but, we just love lists. So
David Letterman. Top 10.
Steal, cheat, envy, or covet, America would be transformed overnight.
Oh boy.
Have you ever considered the riches of righteousness? The Bible says righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people.
okay.
That includes America.
I'm okay with where we're going.
Right now, America is in a fierce cultural war for the soul of this nation. It's a war, but
I also I half agree with his assessment that's upcoming, but of course, well,
between those who embrace biblical values and those who want America to become a secular, progressive, socialist, pagan, godless country.
I mean, that doesn't sound too terrible. However, those all mean different things. And so, no, not really. It is a secular country already. And everything else is just like some of them are good. Some of them are buzzwords. Like pagan is not political. And socialism is an economic system. But most of the liberals in this country actually are from mixed economies. They just don't have the words to maybe say it that way. But they don't want to give up their iPhones. They just want people to have health care. And so it's... What's up, Sinister Porpoise? Sending so much love. We are
that's
talking...
true, Sinister, yeah. Secular and pagan. How are we going to be both? We're going to be secular, non-religious, and then...
That's true. Paganism is a religion, and so if it is a pagan state, it is not a secular state.
Pagan and secular.
And I can tell you how and why it's not mutually exclusive, because he just listed things he doesn't like. And so that's really the only connection between all of those things.
I don't like elevator weight limits. I don't like them.
Tired of this atheist elevator limits.
They make me angry. Elevator weight limits. You know what else I don't like? I don't like burgers with pickles from Burger King. I don't like them.
I think they're ungodly. What's up, Udaf?
Pickles are the devil. Thank you, Udaf.
I believe it. I just want to put that out there.
Pickles are satanic. They're pagan and secular. And
if there's one thing that I would believe spiritually, it's that pickles are satanic. Oh my goodness. How to Save America.
That's true. He does have multiple copies in the background.
I didn't notice that. Oh my goodness. These fucking snake oil salesmen.
The 10 Commandments hold the secret to success.
I bet.
For America's survival. People say, Pastor Hagee,
why do you want us to be successful? Isn't that idol worship? Shouldn't we just be sitting here in the poor, just meditating about how to be better people? Jesus. Yes, exactly. Waiting for the end times.
Commandments are an ancient document from the Old Testament. It doesn't apply to our modern society.
Oh, well, that's the first thing you said. Oh, wait. Oh,
and wrong again.
I also, not to harp on like him selling things, but come on. It is the greatest irony. It's sitting here front and center, and he's like, we should not care about fucking money or selling things. Okay.
Yeah. Psalms 19:7 says, the law of the Lord is perfect. Matthew 5:17.
He's perfect, but he's jealous. So is jealousy a form of perfection?
Oh, wait. He's saying his own law is perfect? Oh, there you go.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Never needs changing.
He says, do not think I've come to destroy the law. This is Jesus speaking. Mm-hmm. I did not come to destroy the law, but to fulfill the law. But whoever does
exactly what.
And I love this because, James, when we bring up, so I said that this chapter, this isn't really about the LGBTQ. But when we bring up the LGBTQ, and, you know, they're too busy telling us about how Muslims want to stone us, they're like, well, at least we don't do that. And I'm like, well, yeah, but your book says you should do that. You know why you don't do that? Because you're a decent human being and you just decided not
better.
to kill people. And they're like, no, that's just the Old Testament. Well, what about this passage that he's bringing up right here? Jesus didn't come to change the Old Testament. Pick up that stone, big boy. No, just get stoned with me. Don't throw stones at me. Unless you're into that type of thing.
They got the stones, Amy. You'll see the stones.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that is what they used to do. And somehow, through enlightenment, we stopped doing that.
I used to know a pastor who used to sing that song all the time, Spooky Dead Air. I fought the law and the law won. Specifically in reference to the Bible. He was a former cop. So.
My brother is now too.
There you go.
And teaches these commandments shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Think about that. How many of you?
Okay. Is there like a poster in the kingdom of heaven and it says, these are the laws, and it just says great. And like really big and bold.
No, they'll have like your picture on the wall there, and it'll say, great, Amy Newman's great. Because you told other people to follow his laws. There you go.
Okay. But only, and very specifically, only if the picture is like the same one as like the cornflakes commercial or the Frosted Flakes, where it's "You're great." Oh my goodness! I'm pretty sure that's what God was going for.
Glamour shots with Oscar the Grouch. What are you talking about now?
Not Oscar the Grouch. The the Frosted Flakes commercials.
Guy?
Yeah,
Tony the Tiger.
There you go.
Glamour shots with Tony the Tiger. Okay.
James, I want to say that we're finally starting to get on the intellectual level on apologetics. I feel like Tony the Tiger and apologetics, we're really starting to, whatever this guy's trying to hawk.
Oscar would like to be called great in the kingdom of God.
Exactly.
By God himself. Then do and teach these commandments. Get this book. Its message penetrates your soul.
It'll penetrate it penetrates your soul, Amy. See, don't go to the person that can penetrate only your body.
I know.
But the guy that can penetrate your soul too.
Also, I'm sorry, but I have to boop, 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 boop. Hello, Saul. I would like to actually sue someone for penetrating me. Where? Oh, my soul. Yeah. $1 million? 2 million? All right, sounds good. They'll have to sell a lot of books, I'll tell you what.
Is that the guy who sued Satan in federal court? And Christians then tried to use that as evidence for God that, well, the federal courts, somebody sued Satan in federal court, so therefore it must be real.
Well, my favorite is still the people who built the Ark, and they said that it was a replica, and that it rained, and there was flood damage, and
it's water damage to the Ark.
Speaking of so much love, thank you so much, Sinister Porpoise. 30 pieces of silver is the safe word. That is my safe word. Also, sending so much love to Sinister. But this is just, it is such a funny episode because we can't have idol worship, James. However,
you can't have a cat clawing all over you.
Once again, you can't worship a cat either, I don't think. Actually, the cat's actually kind of demanding.
This cat is worthy of...
he is worthy of worship. All cats are worthy of worship. I would actually say if you were to put Yahweh versus any cat ever, I would definitely choose the cat.
There you go, Sinister. He's back.
Back in action.
Gizmo. That's right. Nice and happy and safe where he should be. Sending so much love, Sinister,
Gizmo
and
is the
everyone
safe
out
word.
there. Gizmo is the safe word. Oh my goodness.
Meow is the safe word. Yeah, meow.
I always like how they think they could save America. It needs to be saved. And I get that's like a religious thing, but it is also like a hymn thing.
Well,
Today, I'm
no, go ahead.
talking about
Penetrate
the
your
fatal
soul.
attraction.
Penetrate
What is a fatal
that
attraction?
phrase? Oh my god.
That which in the
He's got it,
beginning
apparently.
seems attractive and irresistible,
Mm.
but in the end, it will totally destroy you.
Is that
So
Amy
here-
at the bar? She
Yes.
seems irresistible and everything, but then when they get you home and you totally destroy them in a way they never saw coming.
But as a famous philosopher once said, it's a trap. But here is his definition of fatal attraction, which is basically something that seems like it's enticing, but then, James, you do it, and then you're off to Sin Town, and you're off the end of the world.
I mean, I'll tell you, that's like a one looking and seeing like a wonderful pie on the counter, and it's a wonderful, beautiful pastry shell, and then you cut into it, and there's fucking chicken and white sauce come out of it. You're like, no, a pot pie. What the fuck? Only sweet pies are good. Savory pies are the devil.
I always like what they see as the devil. There's always a new Antichrist, too. You gotta change up the Antichrist, though. That he, too, has an election
We just heard
cycle.
that it was Trump eating a ham sandwich.
Oh, my goodness.
from,
James,
the food.
all right.
Remember that one?
Was that I asked, was that real? But I know the answer.
I think
Is
he was
already-
fucking with us.
Do you think he was fucking with us?
Who the
There's
fuck
pieces
knows?
of me. I know that's what the pieces
I mean-
of me that think could go either way.
At some level, you might think Trump is the Antichrist. The ham sandwich thing is probably just
Because why would you call it a
how
ham
do you
sandwich?
make that work? Because obviously Trump's not going to sacrifice a pig on the altar in Jerusalem, but he might have a ham sandwich in his pocket.
It's true. No, he's just a bad person. Anyway, The Abundant Life with Pastor John Hagee. We are talking Fatal Attraction. He is trying to do a Ken Hovind cosplay and
Look
sell
at
as much of his stuff as
Look.
possible.
He's got his fingers pointed at you. He wants you. Double finger point.
He
You.
wants to pierce our soul.
Yeah, he is reeling you in. And your bank account looking a little fat. He's going to help you with that. He's going to help you lose a
You're
little
gonna
bit of
lower
fat
that.
on that bank account. Yeah.
He's got a
He'll
weight
lower
loss
that a little
program
bit. Yeah.
for money.
On one occasion, my older brother and I were hunting. I saw a squirrel on the trunk of a slanted tree.
This is bad.
I know. It's so random.
Running,
Oh,
Is it not incest if it's gay incest?
it's actually not gay as long as you say no homo. It has to be
What
before. You can't say it after.
What happens when you're out hunting is hunting. It stays hunting.
Yes,
Doesn't affect
exactly.
the real world.
back and forth on that trunk, chirping fiercely at something at the base of the tree. I looked closely.
I bet.
It was a rattlesnake,
Oh,
moving slowly from side to side, hypnotically seducing the little squirrel. The
Or counterpart, the squirrel was shitting itself.
squirrel sensed danger, chirped loudly, but each time came closer and
Yeah.
closer and closer. In a flash, the rattlesnake struck that squirrel, sank its venomous fangs into its flesh.
yeah.
This is evolution.
Its
Yeah, I was
life
going to say this is
killed
evolution.
by fatal attraction. The children
Okay, but like, really, we're trying to talk about why some men go and gamble and like pay money for big titty hookers. And so, like, I get that you have an analogy with a squirrel and like a hypnotic snake, though that's not really how it works. And so, I don't get it. What is with them and snakes? Anyway, somehow in this analogy, you should only worship God.
children of Israel were delivered from Egypt's bondage by 10 dazzling miracles from the mighty right hand of Jehovah God. They went through the Red Sea. 50 days later, they were at Mount Sinai, where Moses met face to face with God on the top of the.
What does this have to do? This is what I mean, James. Like, he gets all over the place. Like, actually, this is his most on topic. He's eventually going to get to idol worship as possible.
He's trying to set up like the 10 Commandments. It's like the story of them and how they got set up.
So a second ago with the analogy, I think it made no sense. He's about to get to Moses, which makes about as close to his idol worship as we're going to be on topic. And then we get to somewhere which I'll ask you what he's talking about, because it just seems like he just brought that up for no reason.
Yeah.
So
snakes don't usually occupy a tree. The squirrel was not like dazzled by the snake, like, oh, there's a snake. Oh, let me look at that. No.
It's almost like he may be making it up.
Snakes are camouflaged so that they don't see them. That's the evolution did. It made them so they don't see them. Look at a copperhead snake in the leaves. You won't see it. Why? Because of evolution.
The mount, receiving the 10 commandments. Moses had been gone for 40 days, and Israel yielded to a fatal attraction.
Oh, they did.
Which is a little while, but okay, whatever. A fatal attraction. Here's the best of what we're really trying to talk about, which is idol worship.
For 400 years.
Well, I do have to say, like, why is Moses up there? Oh, to get the 10 commandments, and that took God 40 fucking days to get these fucking 10 commandments.
Which is a little weird. I will say, and this is, I'm going to have to TM Lewis Black for him talking about this, but also, if you are beat by 2-day shipping, I don't know. Seems like
40 days.
Amazon may be a better God.
It's almost like God wanted something to go wrong. Like he wanted something to happen. Like, oh, give them 40 days and see what they do. Ooh, they've got a bunch of gold because I told them to take it. I wonder what they'll do in with that desert. Gold.
Also, I like what happens.
I already know because I'm fucking God. So
let's see if this is a bad thing.
Years in a nation filled with idols, they allowed their past to control their future.
Oh,
Are you allowing your past to control your future?
Which is the most. Every time I hear that, it's his most like bumper sticker quote. Are you allowing your past to control your future? Everything else in here.
He needs to realize what his future can be, unburdened by what the past has been.
Yes, but I don't get how this. Although it sounds like a great T-shirt, it has nothing to do with idol worship
or saving America.
Listen to me. You can only conquer your past by focusing on your future. St. Paul said, forgetting those things which are past, pressing.
But Moses and those people that wasn't their problem. Their past was they were being slaves. Now you're just mad they're worshiping another God.
Toward the prize of the high calling of Jesus Christ. At Sinai, while Moses was on the mountain meeting with God, Aaron crafted a golden bull for the children of Israel to worship while Moses was gone.
I thought it was a calf.
The bull was the.
I like that better, davegar. He controls the future, controls the past.
Egyptian god of sexual power. Result, when Moses came down
Oh
from Mount
my.
Sinai,
What were they doing, James? Do you think they were playing chess?
I mean, maybe shuffleboard.
Yeah,
It's been
I'm
up to
pretty.
40 days.
Yeah, I was gonna say shuffleboard or croquet. Okay, let's go with that.
the children of Israel were having a sex orgy in the
Ooh.
Shit got lit up. Shit got lit up.
Well. And Moses was like, all right, they found the right God. I'm pretty sure. Right? That's how this goes?
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
the desert. Point. What?
In other words,
Desert.
Moses was like, I have come across Burning Man. Huh. Okay. All right.
You
They
worship
found P. Diddy in the desert.
Oh my God. Probably.
P. Diddy right
will
now.
control you. What you worship
Lord
will
Jesus.
control you. That sexual spirit swept through the camp of Israel. That demonic power
Oh, sounds like a lot of things were sweeping through the camp.
became a fatal attraction. God buried 25,000 Hebrews alive.
Okay. See,
Shit got real.
everyone was just having a great time. They were probably drinking and eating and they were fucking. And you were like, hey, I'm just going to murder a bunch of people so that they stop being immoral. That's how this goes.
Definitely.
And he says it in like a sentence. I love that. He's just like,
25,000
Fatal
people.
attraction. God buried 25,000 Hebrews alive in
25,000.
an earthquake to demonstrate his fury.
why does he have fury? I thought he was this perfect guy. Why does he have mommy or daddy issues?
They're having sex in the desert. And they made a bull of gold.
Oh my goodness. And I get it. Oh my God, James, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but he's a jealous God. They're having sex in the desert and he didn't invite him. Oh,
You know,
makes sense.
Sex. The thing
That's right
goes in
here.
the hole. They're doing a lot of that. A lot of that in the desert. A lot of
But
fucking-
like, James, just think about it. You're an all-powerful creator of the universe, and you see your people having a sex orgy in the desert, and you didn't get. I agree, Gizmo, and you didn't get an invite. You know how pissed off you'd be if you started to see everyone having a fun time on Instagram? I get it, Yahweh. I get it.
There was not one woman or man not on their knees.
For me.
Yeah.
Because they were on their knees, just not
Yeah.
for me. You know what I mean? It's a shame.
Having an idol in your home gives Satan a license to rule your home.
Oh, yes.
Once again, it's like a rule like vampires, like having to invite them in. Once you have an idol, and I'm not really sure what would be considered an idol. Like if you have like a Superman poster, does that mean like you now give Satan access to your home? Or like what level of
Just one black dildo is enough. I'm guessing
One black.
Amy's got 1 dozen or more. She's known to carry.
But
quite a
see,
few
at
of
that
those.
point, that just means that Satan basically has, open access to, our house. But whatever, if he wanted a key, he could just ask.
Pharaoh ruled Egypt with a symbol of a serpent on his crown. The Bible says, quote, that old serpent,
Okay.
the devil. And
What is it with you guys and snakes? What did a snake do to you?
Which Pharaoh was that, Amy?
I know. Oh, it was my favorite Pharaoh. He had a long name. Do you remember? Yeah, I think that's where you're going, right?
Yeah.
It was Oh yeah, it was just Pharaoh, just like his father before him. Pharaoh.
We have thousands of years of a list of pharaohs that we can actually have a good idea of, like the order that they went in. That they actually made lots of writings, and we deciphered a lot. We actually have a good idea. So, which pharaoh specifically, Amy, are you talking about?
Oh, and I know I've been talking about a few so far, but we can also talk about the one that was going to battle with Moses, and that, of course, was Pharaoh.
Well, there was another pharaoh after that, and his name was Pharaoh. And don't get me wrong, you'll never guess. After him, after that pharaoh, there was another guy. It's also Pharaoh.
But we have time to name 62 dukes in a different chapter for no good reason at all. But we can't edit this book either, once again.
Go figure. Yeah,
God's
Church
opinion
Robot, not
is
invited to the
dangerous.
orgy. We're
It's a
sorry.
fatal attraction.
The only desert orgy in
Examine the
history. You're not invited.
Fatal attraction of Bible heroes. Remember, a fatal attraction
Okay, I don't remember that comic book, but sure.
looks good in the beginning, but it destroys you in the end.
Oh, he's talking about a burrito. Oh, I got completely confused. He's definitely talking about like Taco Bell's cheaper lineup.
Stuffed. Oh, the grilled stuffed burritos. That will, yeah.
Like it's very tempting at the beginning, but it will destroy you in the end. I get it now. No, John, you have it right.
David saw Bathsheba on the rooftop bathing.
Did he now?
She was naked. It was a fatal attraction. David was a prophet. He was a poet. He was a warrior. He was a statesman who was a man.
All right. Also, James, help me with this story because we were on target. I said it over and over.
Stay on target.
I feel like
Stay on target.
Further and further. Yes.
And after God's own heart. He killed Goliath. He conquered Jerusalem from the Jebusites 3,000 years ago. Jesus Christ introduced himself as the son of David. David was the Rambo of Israel.
Rambo. And he saw a naked woman bathing, and he just lost his mind. He'd never seen one of those before. A naked woman taking a bath.
Just some of the pop culture references are so funny. Rambo. In a pastor. I know. He's Rambo. Sure, buddy.
But David had a fatal attraction.
Yeah.
He saw
oh my. Was it a he or a she?
So taking a bath.
Bathsheba bathing on the roof. He desired her. He sent for her. He impregnated her. He conspired.
That's escalating.
Yeah, I know. This is same thought. Okay.
Hired to murder her husband Uriah to conceal his sin. God's prophet Nathan invaded.
Maybe Uriah would have been okay with it.
Maybe
Uriah wanted a piece of the action too.
Yeah.
David saying, "Thou art the man. You have committed the murder." David confessed his sin in Psalms 51. Saying, "Take not your Holy Spirit from me, and do not remove the joy of my salvation." Listen to that verse.
Or we could just like not murder people for their wives and maybe go on Tinder, or in the case of many pastors and priests, Grindr. Whatever you're into.
God forgave David, but David paid.
I like it. He went on something so horrible that it would be not even okay for an R movie. But here's the thing, James. You are my child. I will forgive you. One redo. He did say whoops at the end. And so if you think about it,
paid for his sin the rest of his life. Consider David's life. His child with Bathsheba died. His son Absalom was a rebel who sought to kill David while having
with or without a cause, because that matters when you're trying to get a discount.
Sex with David's wives in public, producing public
No,
humiliation.
listen to that again. Listen to that again. Having sex.
David's wives in public,
Go back.
producing
Yeah.
public died.
No, I remember this part because it gets a little. Oh, is that what you're into?
Consider David's life. His child with Bathsheba died. His son Absalom was a rebel who sought to kill David while having sex with David's wives in public.
I mean, holy moly!
Probably not
Okay,
his mother.
whatever
Probably not
he's
his
into.
own mother, but okay.
Producing public humiliation.
I mean, if that's the kind of thing that you're into, okay.
David's daughter was raped by his son.
Okay, that's not. That's kind of horrible. Sounds very biblical, though.
His life was blessed with staggering accomplishment, but his suffering for his sin followed him to the grave.
See how any of that follows?
Do you have a fatal attraction?
No, I don't have anything that's analogous to a squirrel being hypnotized by a snake. I don't think so.
And
But yes.
anything you're going to
Oh wait,
or gay rape for?
no, not that I know
Yeah,
of.
I can't think of anything. Yeah.
But let's truly go to the end because it's my favorite part.
Followed him to the grave. Do you have a fatal attraction? Today, confess it and forsake it, or it will destroy your peace of mind. It will destroy your hopes for the future. It will destroy your marriage.
But
Is your fatal attraction the love of money and power? There is much more divine truth in this commandment, and you can get it all in my latest book,
Oh, you can get
To
that.
Save America, the 10 Commandments.
you hear that, James? Once again,
Latest book, more divine truth in this commandment, and you can get it all in my latest book.
I just love how his ending thing is like, and we should not care about money. Now look at my book and buy it on Amazon.
I could just tell you about it. But you got to read the book for that.
Yes. Once again, you should not have adultery in
There's
your
always
heart.
a book in
However,
There's always a book.
I do accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover.
You don't watch the Y-Files, so you won't know that there's always a book.
He just gives me such Kent Hovind vibes. He even has like the type of suit I would imagine a used car salesman or a snake oil salesman would be wearing.
Oh, you definitely snake oil. I mean, probably soaked in it.
But they truly cannot appreciate the irony of an episode on adultery, and half of the message is buy my insert. But okay, once again, I don't think either of us are anti-capitalist. It's just
Not completely.
holy shit, like the hypocrisy.
Yeah. John Hagee Ministries. I better tell you, I've been watching this guy since the mid '90s. Used to come home from school, elementary school even. This guy would be on TBN, on Turner broadcast, not Turner. Oh hell no, not Turner, but Trinity, TBS, Trinity Broadcasting, the Christian channel with Pat Roberts every other day. He'd be there.
Basically a group of winners, because once again, he was also a piece of... Anyway, may he
He would say, I was a rich piece of shit. I was a rich piece of shit. Gold-plated coffin.
Oh my goodness, that only reminds me of... Did you know Kid Rock has a White House-shaped house? He has a replica of the White House for a house.
That I did not know.
And he also has a gold-plated toilet with a gold-plated urinal. But that's not in the White House. Like, the Orange Voldemort does have a gold-plated bathroom, but it's not in the White House.
Where is it?
So pretty sure it's in one of his whatever hell houses. I don't know if he has a house in New York anymore, so it would have to be in Florida if he still has it.
More like it.
Yeah, I can imagine, but I'm pretty sure it's not in the White House.
Hey, I rode by last week. Southern Boulevard here. I tell you, they have really beefed up security on Southern. Like when he comes in town, like
I can only imagine.
like was it this like probably like a month and a half ago we got stuck there for like 30 minutes waiting for his motorcade to pass by.
Sounds like a
They
pain.
clear the entire street. We were driving down there, and the sheriff jumps out in the water in the street, and he like points over and it's like, don't move until we pull out. Yeah.
And you just yell with all your might. That's what she said. That's what I do.
Until we pull out. They were nice. They weren't like assholes about it. They're doing their job.
Oh no! Can I tell you the hardest thing about this entire political crisis, and it is that in my head, is that there's only one person to blame. Everyone else, I truly can't hate, because it's like religion. The people who follow him, I view that they're more victims of a situation or whatever's going on. And so if you start to hate them, it becomes not even a slippery slope. It becomes a way to truly dislike Americans who are our brothers and sisters. But and we do have a divide in this country, unfortunately, culturally, but not as much as we think. I honestly think there's more than I'm going to cough that we share than
Take a breath like you know that person.
Because it is, James, I'm not being hyperbolic. And, everyone told me he was different. Now he's been normalized. And everyone says he's like every other politician. I mean, why even bring up when someone lies or when someone steals and when blah, blah, blah? Because every other politician. But I could feel it in 2015. I knew it then. I had never voted, and I had been an adult for over a decade, and I should have voted. And yet I knew that this guy was a narcissistic asshole. He was a thin-skinned, petty bitch. And I know it's a lot of ad homs, and yeah, I guess I am attacking who he is. I think I can defend all of those. They're almost like both ad homs, and yet I believe they accurately describe his character. And so, yes, I am attacking his character, if that makes sense. I get a lot of people that will say, well, why should character matter? Just talk about his policies. And I get my retort to that would just be, I don't think he has policies. People have vague ideas of what they think his policies are because he will say things that they want. And so they'll go, well, he's pro this and he's pro that and he's pro that because he's said good things about that insert rally. Well, if you clip, I mean, he says positive things and negative things about each and every issue. And so you can put together him saying that he is the champion that ended Roe versus Wade, and then he can say that he is trying to defend women's rights, whether he wants to or not, and he's the king of IB, the founder of IBF. I'm trying to remember his exact quote, but yeah, when you're just a con artist. Anyway, Kat, so we're about to close out for the night. But it has been a lot of fun. Feels good to be back on and pulling these apologists apart.
Feels good to have Gizmo back.
Feels good to have Gizmo back. Yes, it does.
For like 2.5-3 months, we were away from him.
Yes, but now he's back where he belongs.
He's back. He's adapting. He's the same Gizzy cat. He's still the same Gizzy.
Yes, he is. The internet supports kids.
Oh, yes. Squirrel lives matter. Yes, definitely. Save the squirrels.
It was so random that he brought up a squirrel. I know squirrels are like the ADD go-to, but
Is that a
I don't
Rick
know
and
where
Morty
that came
reference?
from. No, I just think squirrels. Well, a Rick and Morty in Rick and Morty, the squirrels
Rule the world.
are they rule at least one universe, and they seem to be extremely powerful. They are constructing mass conspiracies. If you listen to them, they talk about basically manipulating the weather and causing assassinations, and they're the real reason. They're like the Mossad that the conspiracy theorists think that Mossad is. Instead, it's just us, James. We instead work for them.
Hey, I mean, maybe we'll get a raise after all this
Excuse me.
time.
Yes, it
Thank you,
makes
Ian.
sense.
It's great to see you, man.
Yes.
When is your next Sunday show, Amy?
Tomorrow. That's why I would normally
you
be
on
doing.
Sunday, an open mic. but
I would normally
back
be
Sunday.
doing an open mic and allowing us to go on for later, but I need to go to bed because the next Sunday show will be this morning in 12 hours, exactly 12 hours at 11
I do have to
a.m.
tell you, Amy, that actually you get an extra hour of sleep tonight. The clocks go back.
That's right.
13 hours. We are back.
What's up,
Hi,
Holen?
Robin Red. We are back on human hours. We can get rid of this bullshit fucking daylight savings time.
We do need to get rid of daylight savings time. Our agricultural
nonsense.
needs are not the same as they were hundreds of years ago. We have adapted.
The only people I hear who like it are retirees, people who get up at 10 or 11 in the morning, and they say, "Oh, I just like that it stays light out at night, so I can look out at 9:30 at night and still see the sun in the sky." That's nice, ain't it? No, it's not. You're an asshole.
Fuck with my body wants to pick a time. And then...
Fuck with time, just so you can have the sun out at unnatural hours.
Yeah, that makes me just want to go. I'm just kidding, nice old lady. I love you. I know, sending love, Robin. I am actually hopeful. I'll tell you why. And once again, I know politics dates episodes. If you're watching this in the future and we still have a country, then I get if you don't watch this part. But I think I say this knowing I could fully be wrong. I think it's going to be 2-1 in the end because it's like a 30-60 with rising differences. And it's not that people are, necessarily love Kamala. I like Kamala, at least, for even if she up against other candidates, maybe I'd choose someone else. But I do think that put up against someone this bad, not a hard choice at all. It's not even about the first woman. The fact that it's going to be a woman, it's going to be a minority woman.
We'll
fantastic.
See, Robin. We'll see. Robin knows. I'm optimistic too, but we'll see.
Well,
It'll be fun.
All the polls stay 50-50, 50-50, 50-50, 50-50, 50-50.
It'll be fun.
Because Tuesday. I swear the polls, they don't want to be wrong. They want to be like, they're like, listen, you can't tell us, you can't blame us this time. Yeah, and I could
only the outliers are really stepping dipping their toes in the water. But yeah, most of them are trying to stay within the margin because they don't want to.
But I think people are tired of him. How many seasons can you have of the same guy?
I don't know. 4 more.
And then what I'm hoping, James, because I get it, my hair,
It
the
won't.
longer this episode goes on, the bluer that my hair becomes. I had 2 piercings at the beginning of this. By the end, I'm gonna have like 4 or 5. But what I'm looking forward to most if she wins.
Probably the same thing you said you were looking for last time.
Well, what was that? And if not, I'll say anyway.
Return to normalcy. Yeah.
Just fucking boring ass normalcy.
Yeah.
Just you put on the news and you hear it in the morning when you wake up and you go, okay, that sounds interesting, but the shower's done now, so I'm just gonna go about my day and not care anymore. Because that's the way politics should be. We shouldn't have to obsess over it 24/7, wondering, ooh, what was the next thing that happened? Oh, it's so exciting. It shouldn't be like TMZ, which is what CNN, I think, a little bit kind of has come. But sending shout out to CNN because they did something good recently, which was Have I Got News for You? The American version, probably the best thing they've ever done on that channel, which is they gave Roy Wood Jr. a show. And so you should all check it out. It's amazing. The 2 hosts of the panel captains, or whatever you want to call it, are Ian Michael Black and Amber Ruffin, and they're amazing. And it's a funny show. They get different guest hosts on, and it's the news, but it's funny. They take pot shots at everybody. And yeah, we weren't made to absorb news 24/7. So I'm hoping this ends. See, a civil war would only happen if something like that movie, like Civil War, were to actually happen, which is someone were to actually try to keep in longer than 2 terms, or try to do something that would so blatantly walk over the Constitution, like I think has been done sometimes already, but that's besides the point. We're just too mixed. We think it's north and south, but it's not clean lines like it was. Yes, well, and that's what I want. That's ultimately what I want Trump to go to jail for. I want him to go to jail for because he tried to cheat. I don't know if he'll ever go to jail because rich people sometimes don't ever go to jail because they have lawyers who find ways to get them community service for 18,000 years. Oh, but Your Honor, you have to understand. Yes, he was cheating, but it was Tuesday during a foggy night, and he is super sleepy and kind of groggy on Tuesdays with foggy nights. And so I don't think that election interference. I know he cheated. He has an election interference trial. He was recorded cheating. And I will say he didn't cheat. He tried to cheat. That is the difference. That's why it's not election fraud. It's election interference, because the person that he said tried to find 11,000 votes, who I believe is a Republican, which is the other weird part of this, my life, is just the constant me having to basically say, wow, a lot of our society was safeguarded by Republicans and conservatives. So as much as I could take pot shots at them, there are good, decent people out there that completely disagree with me that choose country over party. I hope that happens again. Because again, it's not the supporters that I hate. It's not you guys who did it. And I find it that as many times as I can bring this up, it's hard to believe he even said it, because sometimes you would go, but no one would actually say that out loud. We're just hyperbolic about it. You know, a politician said this and then we make a narrative out of it. But he just said some crazy batshit things that I think we're just so prepped to have hyperbolic stories that when someone actually says something legitimately crazy, we go, no, come on. Come on. They're eating the dogs? All right, James. I mean, that's what I mean. What I'm looking forward to most is the end of the politics. Because there are good debates to be had about, you know, liberal and conservative issues. I wish we had a more liberal healthcare system. I understand that things cost money, though. And so there's still a question to be had about how we fund it, where, you know, we're going to make things work. We need infrastructure. I think that's something we can come together on. You know, those aren't the things I think we're talking about this election, unfortunately. But only a few more days. Sending love to. This is my final thing. I keep on saying.
So, somebody in the background there, I hear.
Maybe not the moment that you just said something, but they are. Maybe it's God. But sometimes they are loud enough that you can hear, especially my sissy if sports are playing.
I'll tell you, I can agree with you on there, Robin, because you know, I was a Bernie guy, and I had a guy one time, and he was like, "Oh, you just want free stuff." I'm like, "What do you mean free stuff?" Yeah, Bernie, say it, free stuff. Like no, like listen. So every check, my company, they take money out and they give it to United Healthcare, and United Healthcare's job is to spend as little of that money as possible on my healthcare and keep the rest. What I'm saying is, take money out of my check, but what I need for my health care, and not extra for the shareholders of United Healthcare. Yeah.
I'm okay with giving up my money. We just
doctors have to get paid, nurses have to get paid. Take money out of my check, but why does it have to go to a private for-profit corporation when we could just do it, you know? Get people
oftentimes, not to just do another callback, but Elon Musk is one of the biggest government contractors that the United States has. And once again, trying to hawk right now that we need to go back to something great. Something great. Things are going amazing for you right now. Anyway, we need to make it better for middle class, those who need healthcare, at least among the middle class. Our economy is actually pretty good right now. There's always going to be pockets where there's always going to be people in pain. There's always going to be homeless. There's always going to be, but we actually have a decent economy right now. Even among inflation, inflation is a worldwide phenomenon right now, and our inflation is actually decent. We're in the top 20. Or at least we're among the 20s among 200 or so countries. And so, yes, things could be better, but things could be a lot worse. We actually have we have some of the highest employment in recent history. It's crazy. So it is okay. It is okay to say that things are actually doing okay. And it is a message we should actually be sounding out more. That doesn't mean that there aren't things to fix, and there won't always be things to fix.
No comment.
But okay.
I'm out. Have a
What's
good night,
that?
guys. I said no comment. I'm out.
No, because there is always going to be things that need to be fixed. There's always going to be even people that, like, I'm trying to think how to phrase this, that are going to need our aid. That's why we need social safety nets. But we also shouldn't pretend that our GDP is not amazing or our stocks aren't amazing. Stocks aren't really an accurate representation of the middle class, but we still would rather have that, especially with a lot of middle class having investment in the stocks. It's just multi-stocks that is generally what we put our 401ks and public equivalents in. And so it's still good for society. The same with gas being okay. Gas is actually relatively decently priced right now. It could be better, but it's also been way higher as well. But once again, we're winding into politics. This will be aged in just a little while. I'm just venting at this point. So, James, anything else on your mind before we head out?
No, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm just going to just plead the fifth.
Yeah, exactly.
But I wish everyone had a good Halloween or dressed up as Miss Frizzle. That's my only regret, is when James said we didn't have a Halloween episode. I was like, oh, that's true. Could have dressed up like Miss Frizzle. I guess even tonight I could have dressed up like. I'm just happy because my kids may not have all known, even though I showed them the Magic School Bus 1 or 2 episodes. They were excited that I was dressed up, but I was just happy because a lot of people were shouting Miss Frizzle, and I was like, so that was fun.
Every day.
I do. Well, I have outfits for each subject because they're very visual learners anyway, so I think it helps. But it's just
Victoria,
to be better silly.
This is he's getting
It's a throbbing circle. Oh my!
Definitely. Victoria gets spicy. She gets spicy sometimes.
James, can I ask you something which I really we need to know? Does an eggplant taste like an egg?
No, well, not when my mom makes eggplant parmesan, which is really good. I love it. That's one of her.
Why is it called? Okay.
Yeah.
See, these are the real questions that we need to have podcasts on.
Eggplant parmesan. You like eggplant parmesan? Eggplant parmesan sandwiches? Oh, come on, really? Like chicken parmesan?
Oh no, chicken parmesan? Oh no, I love chicken parmesan. I meant eggplant.
So try eggplant parmesan.
Yeah, I've never
like
had.
Parm, but with eggplant.
I'll try it because I love parmesan.
You get it as a sandwich.
Eggplant
parm sandwich. Yeah.
Does that have garlic in it?
Oh, you can get it like on garlic roll. It's an Italian dish.
Okay, I want to try it. I'd try it.
Go like your local pizzeria. Order an eggplant parm sandwich. You'll be thanking me afterwards.
That sounds fantastic. On that note, I think we are going to wrap up, James. We have been talking Skeptic and Ranting on Fatal Attraction, where we watched a video from the channel. This is James BFF from Hagee Ministries.
John Hagee.
Called The Abundant Life with Pastor John Hagee. And once again, how do you not have an abundant life? Buy his book, James. Exactly.
While you're there, we got DVDs. We got this book, that book, the other book, more DVDs. Buy my DVDs.
Total Ken Hoven vibes. Like, God is there but it's kind of secondary to the mainstay, which is buy my fucking book.
Or else.
He didn't have the Bible front and center, I'll tell you that. All right, but yes, I hope you all had a fantastic channel. I
They
hope
did.
you all had a fantastic time
did.
on the channel. I do want to thank my co-host James W., along with all of our lovely people in chat, our awesome mods who make the stream so great, and lovely viewers like you who make this channel even possible. Please don't forget to like, follow, or subscribe. I said it. Thank you. Because then you gain access to that bell icon that when hit to all will let you see our premieres or join our live streams. We also have many fantastic ways. Or hey, why not leave a comment once the video's done? I forgot that. Lastly, there are many fantastic ways you can help support the show. Sending love to all the people who sent us super chats. Sending love to Ian Davenport. Woo!
Thanks, Ian.
And Sinister Porpoise. Woo! As well as all the lovely people if you decide to send super thanks on the upload, as well as all of our channel members that are evolving badge system, which triggers creationists because things can evolve. James, that means we worship time. Time, thank you, watch. As well as our Patreons at patreon.com/Amy Newman. With James W., I am Amy Newman, and we will see you all on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z. Good night, y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Oh, as I hit the microphone, I meant to do that. Good night, and I love you.
Mic, not hit the mic.
That's right. Boom. I hit it again. I can't. You know what?